Now I request Sri C.K. Saji Narayan G, advocate, author, and former All India President of BMS, to deliver the introductory address on the topic. Dr. Ambedkar, the architect of Indian labor laws.
Respected Chair of this function, Advocate Vinay Navreji, Honorable Justice Sri Sanjay Karol ji, Honorable Justice Retired Sri Naresh ji, other dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. सभी को मेरा डॉक्टर अंबेडकर जयंती का शुभकामनाएं और अभिनंदन. When we remember Dr. Ambedkar, it's very interesting to note that he is not only an architect of Indian Constitution, he was also an architect of Indian labor law reforms. Dr. Ambedkar completed his studies with flying colors from Columbia University as well as London School of Economics. After completing it, he came to Mumbai and he was immediately appointed as a professor in Government Law College, Mumbai. And he was also principal of that college. But for 10 years, he could not get a place for residence in Mumbai. So finally, he has to take residence in a chala. Chala means it's a place where the lowest state of people were living. In that building, he lived with mill workers. And there was a common, or each floor had one common toilet, washroom, etc. Only one pipe also was there. So he lived with them. During that time, he understood the hardships of workers at that time. So he slowly interacted with them. He went to mills and met workers there. And he started trade union activities. In 1936, he also started a political party, Independent Labour Party. During that time, he studied about international labor organization, the conventions, recommendations, etc. He also studied the report of the first Commission on Labor, that is Royal Commission. So after that, in 1942, because of his contribution to the labor sector, he was inducted to the Viceroy's Council and he was given charge of labor. So now the government considers him as the first labor minister of India, even though it was before independence. So he was in charge of labor in the Viceroy's Council. And he was there only for a short period, to only for 4 years, 1942 to 1946. And that period can be termed as the golden period of labor in Indian legislative history. Because he has revolutionized the labor legislation in the country at a time when that was in a very, very primary stage. And he was the person who started the tripartite mechanism in the country. Till that Indian Labour Conference, there were 3 Labour Conferences. It was attended only by the government officials. But he called employer representatives, worker representatives, and government representatives, and he convened a meeting. There almost all important decisions relating to labor legislation was taken. So his passion for labor, that we could find during the 4 years of his tenure as the member. Then he implemented 8-hour work. At that time it was 14 hours, the normal working hour was 14 hours. He reduced it to 8-hour work. Then he adopted the England's system of 48 hours a week. That also was adopted here. He drafted the Minimum Wages Act, which was later, after his tenure, it was passed by the Parliament. Then he drafted the Industrial Employment Standing Orders Act. It was presented in the Viceroy's Council, but it was passed only later. ESI Act, Employee State Insurance Act, also was drafted by him. He was the person to draft an insurance scheme for the workers, first time in Eastern Asian countries. It was in this ESI Act. Then he also drafted the EPF, Provident Fund Act. It was first in the mine sector, and there was a Welfare Act also he drafted. And for studying the first-hand information about mine workers, he went to Dhanbad. There he met with mines workers. He went underground and saw how workers are working in that area. So that was there. And he also formulated the Maternity Benefit Act, that law for the mine workers. Then almost all the main labor officers in the country were all started by Dr. Ambedkar, the Chief Labor Commissioner, the State Labor Commissioners, then labor inspectors. All this system was initiated by Dr. Ambedkar. He also started the system of dearness allowance, then revising the pay of government employees. That also he there. Paid holidays, leave with pay, overtime wages. All these are all started by Dr. Ambedkar. Then subsidized canteen, then medical facilities, everything. So even he presented a trade union amendment bill, but he could not pass it. So we will find that almost all the major laws, labor legislations were all drafted by and presented by Dr. Ambedkar during his very short tenure of 4 years. So he is not only an architect of Indian Constitution, he was the architect of India's labor reforms. And he made many laws regarding women. Mines Maternity Benefit Act he has drafted, Women Labor Welfare Fund, then Women and Child Labor Protection Act, then Maternity Leave Benefit for Women Labor. And he also restored a ban on employment of women underground in mine sector. So these are all major things for the women workers. We should understand that it was a time when the labor legislation was in a primitive condition, in a primary condition. At that time, he did all this. In the Constitution also, he inducted the philosophy of social justice and labor rights. It is there. And he actually wanted a labor in the union list because he knew that there will be a difference in labor rights and legislations according to various states. So he wanted to keep it in the union list, but he could not do that. That's why even after 75, 80 years, even today, there is a wide disparity of labor laws in the country. He also criticized the use of cheap labor. That should not be, that's a shame it's a national shame to use that term. That also he said. Thus, we can say that the short period of 4 years can be termed as the golden period of Indian labor. So when we discuss about labor codes, it will not be complete without discussing about the contribution Dr. Ambedkar has given to labor legislation. With these words, I conclude. Thank you.
Now request Vishalji to felicitate Saji Narayan Ji.